Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 111. This is the show where I recap my week. I've been talking a lot about my mental health over the past month or so. Kind of a common topic. It is kind of the thing that affects me the most on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis. This week, I felt probably the most normal. I felt consistently, anyway, for a while. It's been quite a bit of downs, a couple ups, but mostly downs. But for this week, it feels like I've been able to regulate my mental health a bit. I've been doing a little bit more meditation than normal. Was doing twice a week, meditating before I paint on Thursdays, and then meditating again before I record this show on Sundays. So I've just decided to start meditating just as much as possible. Not a lot, just here and there, once a day, trying to get to once a day. That's like the goal, is to just get meditation to be part of my daily thing. And I've been doing my form of meditation. I've done a lot of different meditations over the years, kind of got started in meditation with guided meditation, which is an amazing way to start meditation, to start the practice of meditation. The guided meditations that I did early on, like a decade ago when I first started, were a bit long. They were like 30 to 40 minutes long. But I would feel the benefits I got from them were amazing. And the advantage of guided meditation is that your brain likes to make a lot of noise, and one of the most difficult aspects of meditation is dealing with that noise. But that is why you meditate. You meditate in order to practice quieting your brain. And the thing that guided meditation does is it gives you something to focus on. It gives you a voice to listen to and things to do, things to think of. It gives your brain an activity to do. So maybe it's not the traditional thought of meditation of just quieting your brain, but it helps, especially early on, and the benefits were amazing. What I've been doing recently are these Tibetan chants that are, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I've mentioned them before on this show, but I'll mention them again. They're available all over the place. But it is Music for Deep Meditation is the album. I'm on Apple Music, but I'm sure you can find them on any of your streaming services. But it's the title is Mystical Journey, Sacred Mantras for the 7 Chakras and Chanting Om with thunder. And, I mean, some of them have, like, ambient sound effects. But the one I have been doing and basically memorized was the, which is it? The water track, which is track 3. The Energy Center of Creativity is the one I was doing. And today I did Ether, which is full self-expression. And it's kind of like, I mean, you're doing different sounds. I don't know what the sounds mean. I don't really care. All I know is that while I'm listening to the music and chanting along with the person chanting, that it basically replicates feeling high. Like after I'm done, I mean, it's almost like massaging my brainstem in a way that makes it like turning my body into like a tuning fork almost. Like the vibrations that I make with the sounds that I'm chanting along with, which is similar to like the Om chant, but there's different sounds that you're making instead of just the Om, different words, I guess. I don't know what the proper term is, but they feel amazing. And the one I did today, Ether, almost felt like I was doing like vocal warm-ups. Like just while I'm doing it, I mean, my brain is focused on trying to say the thing at the same pace they're saying the thing, you know, regulating my breath in the same way, taking fast inhales and like long sustained exhales while trying to do all the different stuff, but also noticing just how like my mouth physically changes to replicate those sounds, and just feeling how those changes are. And really, I mean, it's really forcing me to be in the moment. You can't do this and also think about all the distractions in the world that is slowly crumbling apart around us. So I've been doing that. Highly recommend it as far as for me. And they're like 10-minute tracks. So especially once you get, like if you just pick a track, let's say, and you just do that track every time. Like I started with the water one for creativity. I was just doing that one every time. And one of the things that helps is that it helps you just remember what the different chant is, the mantra is as you're doing it. So you don't have to, so you're more effortlessly in tune and in sync with the person in your headphones. And then slowly adding another one. But it forces you to be in the moment, and I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's for me, and it flies by, especially once you get used to it. The 10 minutes flies right by. It feels like so short, which is good also because it's one of the things I think, in addition to people just quote unquote not being good. I'm not good at meditating. It's like nobody's good at it. You know, it's like Buddhists don't become good at meditating just when they first start out. It's like a lifetime practice for them to be quote unquote good at it. That's why it is a practice. You get better at it by practicing, and also the time flies. And I think the time commitment in a lot of ways, there's like a lot of just like weird mental hurdles that for me to get over to actually do it more. But I enjoy it. It is by far my go-to. I feel amazing afterwards. It really, like, when I say like it turns you into a tuning fork, if you ever like, you know, used a tuning fork, you know, you hit it and like the two metal forks are just vibrating. That's what you feel like deep inside. It is like your brainstem relaxed. It is like massaging your internal self in a way that is impossible to do with like a percussion massager or something like that, right? It is giving you your spirit, you're giving your body a massage from the inside out. And the comfort and relaxation that you get from that. And also just mental clarity, because it helps. It really does help quiet a lot of the noise of life, which I appreciate. So I think that has helped contribute. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear The Many Faces, original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show. I've also been drinking a ton of the hibiscus. I mentioned the last episode that I got hibiscus and valerian root. I've been drinking a lot of both of those teas of valerian root, usually before I go to sleep. Hibiscus tea throughout the day. In addition to just my regular tea, sun tea that I'm drinking, and then my lemon ginger tea that I drink. So drinking a lot of those teas has helped as well, I think. or maybe it's just the cycle of my brain at that any given time. But I've felt like I've had a good week, which is also just I felt normal. I don't feel massively depressed. I don't feel the unending like feeling of being a burden or being like worthless. I've done a lot of introspection. Just knowing that I have these issues and noticing them and pointing them out to myself, I think is beneficial in trying to somehow regulate those things on my own and maybe start to realize when the shifts are happening to prepare for a downswing or an upswing, whether it's, and, feeling that like, self-diagnosing myself in a lot of ways, I guess. But despite feeling normal, I have slept pretty horribly, at least the beginning of the week. Towards the end of this week, my sleep has gotten better, but like the first few days of this week, despite feeling good, aside from being very tired because I haven't been getting sleep, is just I really did not feel like I got any sleep the first few days of the week. And I don't know what that was about, but was not good. And thankfully wasn't a week-long thing, but it wasn't enough to keep me from having a productive week, which I kind of gauge how good I'm feeling based on how productive I am, because there's never an end to the work that I could be doing or need to be doing. So the only thing that really keeps me from getting things done is my mental health. And it's really noticeable when I don't get things done why that's happening. Because it's because I'm extremely depressed. Or anxiety. Panic attacks, which I haven't been having panic attacks, thankfully. It's been mostly depression mixed with a little bit of anxiety here and there. But the meditations helped. I'm also doing affirmations. I wrote down a bunch of affirmations to like look myself in the mirror and say things to myself positively to help just trying to do all of the little things that I know of to do that are supposed to help with mental well-being. So I've started to do that. There's also physical things I've done, like things that I've seen on TikTok, which, the validity of those things, who knows? But there's one where you're standing up and you kind of just relax your body and you just kind of shake your body. Like you kind of bounce up and down, just like allow your body to shake. And it's supposed to replicate your body when you're having an emotional, when you're crying and you're letting out those emotions when you're crying, how your body shakes. And because of the way our society and culture demonizes showing those emotions, especially for a man raised in the 90s, you're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to show your emotions. You're thought of as weak if you're showing emotions. That's one thing I've started to do, just either not necessarily even when I'm feeling bad. Like I've just started doing that in general as part of a somewhat routine. Even before recording, this morning, recording the show, preparing to record the show, I give myself time to wake up. I make sure I drink some tea, get some caffeine in my body. Make sure to eat a breakfast, nothing too heavy, just some eggs with, mushrooms and onions and garlic in it. Eat myself a nice little healthy breakfast to get some food in my stomach, drink my tea. I like to get a meditation in to kind of just shake off any cobwebs and get focused and get centered. And then I also did the shaking thing where I shake my body. It's usually I'll do a combination of stuff. Like I'll pace just to kind of walk around a little bit, and then I'll stand still and shake. And then I'll also do like a dominant pose, which is something that was brought up in Ted Lasso. One of the characters wanted to build confidence, and one of the tricks that he was told is to find a place to get as big as possible. Put your hands up in the sky like you're dominant, like, you know, if you've ever watched MMA or any kind of combat sport, when somebody's victorious, they'll raise their hands in victory, raise their fists in victory, and that's what I'm doing. I'm literally walking around my studio with my hands in the air, having the thoughts of, and while doing that physical thing kind of puts you in that mental state of like victory. So I've kind of been doing a combination of those things where I'm like pacing, walking around with my head up, and then kind of doing a body shake type of a thing. So in addition to the meditation, in addition to the affirmations, in addition to the teas that I'm drinking, I'm trying to do all of those things in order to kind of get some control so the ups and downs aren't as severe. So we'll see how that all works. I'm sure the thing is, like, when depression hits for me, all of these tools and tricks and things that I do to help deal with that or to help avoid that end up going out the window. Like, when I feel depressed, like, I don't have a desire to do anything. So we'll see how that all goes. But those are some of the things that I've been doing for myself as a way to help, help stay in the moment. I've really been trying to avoid thinking of the future with everything slowly crumbling apart in society, in the world, just kind of the worst kinds of people gaining steam and notoriety and control of stuff is a big bummer, but just trying to block all of those things out and just trying to focus on the now and the things that I'm doing in the moment to not be distracted by all those horrible things, whether it's the government, whether it's climate, whether it's mass shootings that are happening like multiple times a day, every day, the baby formula shortage, the rights and freedoms being stripped away from Americans constantly. Really trying not to focus on any of that stuff and really just trying to be in the moment and do what I need to do in order to hopefully get to a place where I'm able to survive doing those things. Is, the less distractions I have, the better. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. Those are all the things I've been working on. And part of the way I've been productive this week is I finally started releasing new products. As you may remember, like a little over a month ago, I did a huge update on my website and started releasing select paintings that I've done in the form of t-shirts and prints and NFTs. And I did a major overhaul on my website to start offering those things. And after I did that big overhaul is when the depression hit. And not until this week have I gotten back into doing that. And it's something that I want to do regularly, to release new products every week, at least a few every week. So I started doing that. And I started doing it in a way in which, like, I finally felt what it feels like to just do it at that pace instead of doing this massive overhaul. So it felt good to get that that stuff done. I've also started reaching out to different people to hopefully start doing live art events, whether they be pop-ups or participating in art shows. So started reaching out to them. We'll be starting to reach out to brands to hopefully potentially get sponsorships or to collaborate with certain brands in certain ways. So I'm started to do that, just either trying to connect with people on Instagram or send emails, and trying to send those things out and then not wait by the phone for people to call, because I know there's going to be a lot of no's, which is totally expected. But I just want to get in the routine of reaching out to brands and things that I feel like would be a good fit to work with. So doing just little things here and there, hopefully doing art events during the summertime in the Coachella Valley. There's really nothing going on. The valley really dies during this time of year, so there's not like a lot of art fairs happening. So it's kind of a bummer. So I kind of know I have to at least survive through the summer, spend as little money as possible. Hopefully people will buy my stuff online. Maybe they'll want to buy prints or original artwork or T-shirts. That would definitely help me survive through the summer to get to, when it starts to cool down and art events become more regular. And then also kind of starting to brainstorm how I want to set up my booth. I used to do pop-up art events in San Diego, and so I've done it before, but the work I'm doing now is all new work since then, and would be a completely different setup. So I'm trying to brainstorm how I want to set up my space for these shows, and just trying to get prepared for when they do start up again in the fall. So all of those things I've been working on this week, and it feels good to have a normal week. It feels like normal has never felt so good. It's surprising how good it feels to just not have the weight of depression constantly on my shoulders, considering there's not really any help available to people in my situation. I have to figure out a way on my own to do the things I need to do in order to hopefully mitigate some of the effects of my mental issues, whether it's being bipolar. If I am self-diagnosed, I would say I'm bipolar 1. There's 2 types, I guess, of bipolar, and the first type is what I feel I relate to the most, and makes the most sense. I mean, it's like, that's what, like, finding out what different types of mania, how they manifest in people, and the depression stuff is pretty easy for me to notice. That stuff has been easy, but to hear the different ways in which mania manifests itself, like definitely when I heard another TikTok of somebody talking about these things, and I was like, that is totally me when I get manic. Like, those are the things that I do. So what, for whatever that is, trying to do what I can myself to avoid it taking me away from work I need to do, because it's affecting my life. It's affecting my work. It's affecting what I can get done. And it's like, I've done so much to eliminate distractions from my life, whether it be working for a toxic company surrounded by toxic people, or just substances in my life that have been distractions. When you cut everything out and you realize that the sabotage is coming from within, there's only so much you can do to try and prevent that. So I'm doing what I can, which I guess is all I can ask of myself, is to try and take it day by day. And, hopefully I can find a way to feel normal for an extended period of time and minimize the roller coaster of my mental issues in the future. But that's been my week. I hope everybody else has been having a great week. Do your meditate. I highly recommend check out those mantras. It's, you put on your headphones, chant along to the monks that are chanting in the thing, and you will be surprised. One, it feels good when you're harmonizing with them and you're in sync with them. Like, it's a weird feeling to, like, everything disappears in those moments, and it is crazy. So I'd highly recommend find a way to meditate in any way you can, because it is very beneficial in general for people. So anyway, hope everybody's having a great week.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.